I've been kicking the ball since I was 3 years old. I think my dad told me I was kicking the ball since I could walk. In England, soccer is everything, and to me it's always been everything. And it's just been that thing that lights me up and the thing that fulfills me. I still go out there, even to St. Pius when we're playing at the high school on a game day, and I walk on the freshly cut grass, and I see the freshly painted lines, and the goals are moved right onto the lines, and the hair on the back of my neck stands up, and I turn into that kid again because the game's about to start, and someone might score a goal, and it just gets me going, and that's what I am. I'm a little kid that gets to play out my the dreams of my childhood on the pitch through this business. I tell people that I finally found what it is I was put on this earth to do, and that's to bring pro soccer to New Mexico. We are a community building organization under the guise of a soccer team. Yeah, soccer's what we do, but we don't really talk a lot about what we do. I like to talk about why we do it. And why do we do it? We exist to unite New Mexico through the world's beautiful game. And I said, I think I'm going to start a soccer team. Then came the time for finding capital. And I went out and started talking to people who I thought had money that were able to invest in a team. And I took about 30 different no's from potential investors. And I was literally at the point where I was ready to give up. A week later, I got the call from Aaron, who's the lead investor in the PDL version of the Soul, saying, hey, I heard you were looking to start a soccer team. And that's really how it started. And that's when the capital started to come in. So that's how the team was really put together. So once we had found the initial capital, it was who was going to operate this team. So I had been talking to a friend of mine named Greg who I thought was interested in investing in the team. And I go to meet him for coffee. I show up at the coffee shop and there's this guy sitting in the corner glaring at me like he wants to fight me. He's got his arm in a sling. He'd just broken his arm. And it was Larry Espinoza. And I didn't know who Larry was, and Larry didn't know who I was. And we just kind of clicked. And from day one, we clicked. Everything we were doing it for the same reasons, for the right reasons, because we want to build this community through soccer. And then that's how it started. And the Soul, as the rest they say, is history. And obviously we're rewriting history as we speak and growing this franchise now through our first 4 years. So it's been a two-man show for a long time, but along the way, of course, to run the business, you need a coach, you need players, you need game day staff. It's been a lot of interns and a lot of volunteer staff. We've got a great head coach that's committed to the cause, not just to the team, but to the cause. And we've picked up some incredible people along the way, people that start out as interns that end up being full-time employees. So the people that join along the way, that buy into kind of what we're building, is what makes the Soul so special. When you start something new, there's always people that are going to be negative. There's always people that are going to tell you it's not going to work. But we're going to make this work, so we're going to figure this out. And that's what entrepreneurs have to do, right? We're challenged with this problem, this gap in the marketplace that we're trying to fill. And we say, how do we fill that gap? And we try to put something in, and sometimes it's like putting a square peg into a round hole, and you got to figure out, how do I sand off the corners? There's never just going to be that circle that fits right in there. But we've sanded off the corners now, and over the last 4 years, we've been able to really start to put the pieces in place. A lot of it comes down to the people. It comes down to the passion of the community for the sport, and there's a lot of people out there rooting for us because they see what we're trying to do, and they want to support it, and they want to get behind it, and we owe all our success to those people. A game day is a piece of art. And a good piece of art takes a long time to paint. Everything down to the minute details has to be in place to give the players a professional enough experience. The interns and the volunteers, the hardest workers we have, they show up and they come to work ready to make this thing happen. And it is beautiful because they believe in what we believe in, and that's why they're doing it. And it's really cool getting to teach the interns of why we put this game day together like that. We have our merchandise stand right by the entrance and the exit, just like Disney does. We want that same concept in place too. So the positions are in place, the gate's open, the security's there, the concessions is open, and it's on to the game day. And we hope that we've choreographed the right path for the fan to come into the stadium and get the most out of their game day experience, and at the same time, from the business side, be able to monetize the game day experience too. So what's next? It's really completing the puzzle, which is pro soccer in New Mexico, having a stadium, a facility that can house the teams. We have our own home, and fulfilling what we said we wanted to do from day one is bringing together the community, providing opportunities for our youth, doing everything that needs to be done to bring the community together through the beautiful game. This team has already impacted the community so much, but there's so much more we can do. And that's the next step in this thing, is putting it all together, having the pro team, putting soccer on the map in New Mexico, putting New Mexico on the map in the soccer landscape, and really just showing the country that, we're a whole lot more than Breaking Bad. There's a whole lot more beauty here, and soccer is going to be a way of communicating that to the rest of the country and the rest of the world. So from day one, our number one goal as an organization is to give back to the community that has given us so much. We created the Albuquerque Soul Foundation, a 501c3 corporation that's going to be devoted to giving back to the community, to helping. We've got such a problem with a lack of financial literacy in this state. Every home game we devote to a locally ran nonprofit, and these are nonprofit organizations that do great work in the community and that keep their dollars local. We've had matches where we've raised money for the American Cancer Society and Making Stride Against Breast Cancer, where our players came out in pink jerseys. Then we auctioned off those jerseys after the game to raise money for the American Cancer Society. There's just a lot of cool things that we do to give opportunities to other people and for our fans to see the good in our community. The media always focuses on the negative, and I don't like to sit around and listen to the negative, and I don't like to sit around and listen to the people that tell us we cannot do this. But in a way, I kind of love people telling me that you can't do it. And I know Larry will say that too, is because we just thrive off of that. You tell us we can't do it, we're going to go find a way to do it. I think we've proven that in the last 4 years, and we can't wait to bring the last pieces of the puzzle together and to give New Mexico pro soccer.